In this lesson, we're going to be creating a star in AutoCAD. So I'm following the textbook for this class, and so I'm going to make a star. And so what I'm essentially going to do is within AutoCAD, I'm going to go to the menu bar on the top and select the line tool. All right, so go to the top, find the line tool. I'm going to do something a little different though. I tend to start at the 0 coordinate. So when I select the line, at the menu bar below, it's asking for the first point. And I'll always read this. I'm going to type in 0, 0, and that's going to put me right at this X and Y intersection. All right, and so this exercise, you have some options. If it doesn't work, what's happening is you're going too big and it's going outside the designated size of the paper. So you might want to try making it a little smaller. So go ahead and make a star and you're going to eyeball it. But as you do it, notice that there's a lot of lines coming in here. So for example, I'm going to click here, and when I move the bar to the line to the right, you'll see a green, and that's actually there on purpose. And the other thing is it's already going to snap, meaning that where I start and where I finish. And then right click and push enter, or you can just push enter on your keyboard. And then there's different ways to scale this, so I can go ahead on this menu bar, go to zoom and zoom out, zoom in. There's many different ways to do this. Do what's most comfortable for you. And then there's this hand tool, which is essentially a pan. It moves things to the left and right. All right, and so we're going to actually make another one, and we're going to just do a little undo and also erase the lines. All right, so a couple things here. We have a grid that we're going to be able to turn off and on, and those are just great for referencing. We're not snapping to it at this point. So what we will do then is exit this, and you can also hit escape on your keyboard. That takes you out of everything. And so you can go to the snap settings or just click on it, and it'll give you a lot more options here. So there's the snap. I tend not to use the snap if I can avoid it, because it'll limit your options. But no, it's there. But the polar and the O-snap are things that I use in class every day. So I'm going to turn this snap off, and I can actually do it on the bar below. And then I'm going to make another start exactly the way we did it, but as I go here, I'm going to stop, and I'm going to undo this thing. All right, so many different ways to do this. I'm going to enter, so it's not complete, obviously, but I go to edit. I can undo the line. Oops, but you know what? I want that back. I can go ahead and redo. Control Z, Control Y, and then I can just eliminate individual lines if I want, right? So you can keep some lines, and that's with the eraser command, which is very handy here. And so I'm going to delete this. Now, the funny thing is when you print, because you already used this area, AutoCAD thinks that you have something here. So just be aware when you print, if you don't use the window command, which I'm going to teach you, that is generally why. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this a little bit more detail here. So there's the star. We have deleted it. We've done undo. We've used the eraser command. And again, you can pause and practice this. And now it's getting into the Cartesian, this coordinate system, and X, Y, and Z. So you don't really need to worry about this because we're going to do everything in the beginning of this class in 2D. But if you were working in 3D, that's what it's showing you here. This XY bar will actually have another coordinate, which is Z. So if I go to the home menu, if it doesn't show up, hit escape and do it again, it'll actually go in perspective like this, or an isometric view. All right, we don't want that, so we want to go back to where we were, and we'll go to the top view, and then we do want to be working in drafting and annotation, because this is essentially 2D exercises that we're doing. All right, so we have the correct coordinate system. We can turn the grids off and on if we want. I don't really use the grids that much in this class. It's just some people like to see it. It helps with the scale. And then I also have these endpoint, midpoint, center on in the O-snap, and that's where the lines snap together. So these settings are actually very important. And if you're on your home computer, it'll probably stay. But if you're working on a network or some server, you generally have to put these back in every time you open up AutoCAD, which is a big pain. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add something here. I want you to type in text in the command line below, TEXT, and then read the command line. First thing it wants to do is the height, and I just clicked and eyeballed it. And then the rotation angle, I could just push enter or move my mouse to the right, and then type in your name. And you want to make it scaled accordingly so it's not dominating this whole page here, right? So it should be about that size. You click outside of the text, and then you can push enter or cancel. And then what we're going to do is we're going to want to print this. So you want to zoom in to here. We're going to save it and print it. So first thing we do then is I'm making a window on the zoom, and that centers everything for me. And then I'm going to save this, and we want to save this as the latest AutoCAD DWG format that we can. And then we're going to title this star. All right, and then we're also going to print this out. Now we actually, in AutoCAD, we use the term plot. Now we're going to plot this or print this as a PDF file. And so what you want to do is go to AutoCAD PDF. And then you want to go to Window here, just like we did on the Zoom. This will center everything for you. All right, and it'll scale, and that way you don't have a little teeny little drawing on a big piece. And it's going to be 8.5 by 11. We've already set that up. And you want to preview this. Really important you preview, because there you go. Now this is a student version of the software. That's why you're seeing all this funny stuff on the outside, but that's okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and print it, right? And so that's going to actually save it. And so you want to have a folder in your computer, and I'm going to save this as star, and then I'm going to put my name on it, and I want you to do the same also. And so we're going to save the PDF. So we've created the star, we've put the text of your name below it, we are saving it and printing it, and now the next thing that we need to do, once we're happy with it, is to upload it. All right, so it's important that you understand how to upload, and back in Canvas, essentially what you're going to do on every day, you'll see the activity here. It says 5 points, chapter 1, star with your name. All you do is click on it and then hit submit assignment. And you can put more than one in here. It is imperative that you put the PDF in there. I'm having you put the DWG in there also because you can actually access it later. And that way, if you lose it, you can get it later. So I'm going to first put the AutoCAD file, the star, and now I'm going to put the PDF file. And that's actually what I grade. I grade these PDFs, and that way I can mark on it. All right, so you want to make sure you have both of them in there. And then, of course, you want to hit Submit Assignment, and you're going to see it there. Now, the cool thing with Canvas is that if you go to the Home menu, I'm going to turn this on real quick. I have it off here, but you're going to see files there on the bottom left. Now that is your own. I don't actually see this. And it's a great place to upload documents. If you see on the top right, you can upload. You can use it as a cloud. But the cool thing is whatever assignments you turn in, it says submissions, there they are, right? So you can see what assignments have been turned in, and then you can also download them later. So you can access your files, all right? So very, very handy. Please be familiar with this. This is how I grade your work, so make sure that you are uploading your PDF and the DWG file. And I want you to read the remainder of the chapter for the next class. And we are done.